And I'm very grateful that you took the time to tune in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. All right, everyone. We are live now, and I'm so excited to have Evore here with us today on this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. How are you, Evore?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you so much for being on the show. I did some extra stuff today, girl. I went live a few minutes ago and put some eyelashes on. I don't do this at all, right? So I did this just for you, just so you know. And meanwhile, you on the other end, and you're
I don't have makeup.
No makeup today. Isn't that funny? And you're so beautiful.
Thank you.
I think I'm beautiful too without makeup too. Don't get me wrong.
I'm sure you are. You definitely are.
But you look amazing.
Thank you.
Where are you located, Evore?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Atlanta is its own world, in my opinion. Do you feel that way?
Yes, I do. Part of the reasons why I actually moved down here, because I'm originally from Nigeria. So I moved to Atlanta because of all the opportunities out there. So yeah.
And has it been proven kind of like true to its name? Come to Atlanta, and you're gonna have this whole.
I will say Atlanta has been living up to its expectations.
Oh, what kind of expectations did you have?
Well, I think in terms of opportunities, yeah. Because back in Nigeria, I lived in I'm the type of person I like the hustle and bustle. I don't like the quiet, states and all whatnot. So yeah, Atlanta is definitely giving what it's supposed to give.
That's good. Well, for those that are watching this in other countries or on the audio podcast and things like that, Atlanta, Georgia is where she is, and she's having a wonderful experience. But as you all are coming into the virtual studio audience, let us know where you're visiting in from. I'm also going to put this link here in case anybody wants to come in your pageant attire and pop on and show yourself on camera, feel free. But then I also told you all you can inbox me on social media and let me know any dress up outfit that you put on, and I'll pop it on screen as well. So we're glad to have you all today on this episode. Now, Evore is stage name, just so y'all are clear. Okay, that's not her government name. What made you go Evore as a stage name? We need to know that.
I love this question. I love to answer it. So I'll just give you. Are you ready to listen?
I'm ready to. Everybody, are y'all ready in the virtual studio audience? Let's hear why Evore is the stage name, and last name is Ujiaga.
Yes.
Ujiaga.
No, not you. Oh,
that's what I said. I wrote it differently. Ujiaga.
Yes, Ujiaga.
Ujiaga. Okay. All right. Evore, tell us why that's your stage name.
So, I was about to start my business. This was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I was asking God for like a name that would represent me. Right. I tried out different names by myself, putting two and two together. But then I came to the point where I'm like, okay, God, give me something. And he told me Forever Young. Right. Now I got Forever Young. I was like, oh, I love that. But I know that cannot be a name. But instead, that can be something that I represent. Right. Or represents my brand. Right. So I kept Forever Young. And then I continued trying to use, my skills to come up with a name. Now, my favorite number is 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 5 names. I was born a Catholic. So I did the whole baptizing, confirmation. And for all those people that are Catholics, they know you get like a name, a saint's name, when you do all those things. So I put all my names together, all my 5 names. My first name, which is my government name, Obehiage, The third letter is E. My confirmation name, Jovita. Third letter is V. The name my grandmother gave me, O. My English name, R. And my last name, E. And that's how I came up with Evore.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It kind of reminds me, I read this book as Alter Ego Effect. And so everybody has some type of thing like a Beyonce in particular, she talks in the book of in that particular book, it's about her having Sasha Fierce as
Mm-hmm.
her alter ego. So Evore is like an alter ego type of thing, is
Yes.
what I'm thinking. I
Yes.
have an alter ego too, but it involves stuff like my mom and Michelle Obama,
Mm-hmm.
forever
Mm-hmm.
first lady person, and
Mm-hmm.
then Oprah. And so I've kind of merged some, even Angela Bassett. There's some different little components of things. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
roll. But I'm grateful for who God created me to be. And so
Yeah.
no alter ego or anything is
Mm-hmm.
fixing who God ultimately wants us to.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it like an echo. But I wanted to I wanted to make sure that you all know that today we're going to be talking about an event that Evore is putting together for the very first time ever. And you're going to hear about that throughout today's episode. But get your mind right, because I want to hear your backstory, Evore, when we come back from this commercial break and learn more about you being born, raised, and everything in Nigeria. That's a whole different vibe, a different experience. So when we come back right after this commercial break, we're going to hear Evore's backstory. We'll be right back, everybody.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented, and I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work, work with Hunter and Everett. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
All right, everyone, we're back and we're talking with Evore, and she's going to talk to us about her backstory growing up in Nigeria.
All right. So thank you. I was born and I grew up in Nigeria. I came to America 5 years ago, which was 2018. So in Nigeria, we don't wait till you're like what 4 or 5 to start school. Start school immediately. So I started school immediately. I got into college at the age of 16, and and I bagged my bachelor's in economics in 2013. So that was 10 years ago. And right after school, my parents wanted me to go do my master's, but I was like, no, because when I was in school, I think 2012, I fell in love with makeup. So I started doing it, practicing on YouTube and all whatnot. And then eventually, after school, I decided to go to a makeup school and I started my career as a makeup artist. So I've been doing makeup for 10 years now.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that. So in Nigeria, like what age then do you start school? Because you're saying it like you were like 2 or something. How old were you?
I actually started at the age of 1. And then the first year was kindergarten.
Okay.
It's kind of like what you'll call daycare, right? So it was like kindergarten. And I had to repeat kindergarten. I did it twice because they said I was too small to move to the next class.
Okay. Too smart?
Too small.
Too small, too. Oh, so they were like,
Too
she's
young.
just a little bit too young for us to matriculate her that quickly. Okay.
Yes. But technically in Nigeria, if you school in Nigeria, right, at the age of 16, 17, most people go into college, get into college.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So when you went to at 16, you were in school studying economics and then graduated in 4 years?
Yep. I graduated at the age of 20.
Get out of here. And so when you graduate, the expectation is what at that early age? And because 16, in my opinion, is early. So what happens? What's the
So
expectation?
graduated at 20. Most people will go to school. And I mean, that's if you're doing a 4 years course. I
Right.
did 4 years course. So most people will go straight to, masters to get their masters done, while some other people just, start working.
And you picked up a love for makeup, so you decided to start doing your own YouTube channel and things of that nature. Did you ever apply your economic degree to anything in your journey, or just got the paper?
Well, I always say that I did. Reason being, I became an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurship is one of the things that they teach you, you know, studying economics. So I always say, like, I kind of like still, had a way to put it in there. So,
I personally think, just so you know, Evore, that anything that I've learned along my journey, through my bachelor's, master's, whatever walks of life, business ownership, I've been able to apply it in every aspect of my life.
right.
Like even when I was in pharmaceutical sales, knowing how to do the glossy detail pieces
Mhm,
and presenting to my customers, stuff
mhm,
that I now am able to know this is what I want my folders to look like, or
mhm,
my website, or different things.
mhm,
So
mhm.
I think it all works synergistically. That's
Yeah, no knowledge is wasted.
yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I agree. Well, just so you all know, this woman is a hardworking, compassionate lady that is originally from Nigeria, and she is definitely a makeup artist and a scrub master at Delta. Is that what it says? Okay, what is a scrub master at Delta? Tell us that too.
So Scrum is more like project management.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm a Scrum Master at Delta.
And Delta is, Delta Airlines. Like I'm a Delta from a
Mhm.
Delta Sigma Theta
Oh no,
sorority.
Delta Airlines.
Delta Airlines.
Yes.
All right. All right. So that's your official job.
That's my 9 to 5.
Okay, and you enjoy doing that?
I do. I think Delta is a very amazing organization. So yeah, I do.
Good. All right. So when you came over to the United States from Nigeria, what was that process like for you?
So it was actually hectic, to be honest, because there was a lot of culture change. I had to learn a lot. First of all, we were colonized by the British. So the things we even said, communicating was hard. Well, let me not say it was hard. It was weird, right?
Weird. Yeah, that's a better word. Huh?
Especially here in Georgia. Like I had I was that person that, like, if you say something, I'm like, huh? Pardon? What did you say? I always had to ask you to repeat yourself. For me, okay, I described Southern people as, like, the way they talk, I was like, they just sing. Because all you hear is na 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 na. Like you never really hear exactly what they're saying. I could never really pick out what they were saying. So it was so hard. And then in terms of, like, some of the things we say, like I said, we're colonized by the British. So for instance, I remember one day very clearly. I went to McDonald's and I was like, "Can I have chips and chicken?" And they're like, "Chips and chicken? We don't sell chips here." I'm like, "Of course you do. Look at it right there." And they're like, "That's fries, not chips." I'm like, "Whatever."
Or just give me what you sell that
Exactly. Give me that thing.
instead of giving me a tutorial on this, right?
Exactly. So in Nigeria, we refer to certain things, as certain things, and then because that's what the British say. Like the British would say chips, not
Mhm.
fries, right? They would say, I think they're the ones that say elevator. Are they the ones that say elevator or lift? I don't know. I know Americans say one or the other. They would say, what we put on that we call pants. We call them trousers in
Okay.
Nigeria.
So
Like
just
pants for us
like
refers to like underwear. So when you say like pants, I'm like thinking like your underwear, that kind of thing. So
that's hilarious. So people are like, "Are you wearing pants today?" You're like, "No, yeah, I'm going to wear pants every day because you're wearing underwear every day, but
exactly,
you're also going to be wearing trousers over the pants in your
exactly,
area."
exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so those differences really can make a difference in communication barriers when it comes to different
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
nationalities or
Yep.
different
Yep.
countries and stuff. Wow.
Yep.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. So what made you become interested in the whole world of pageantry? Talk to us about that.
Okay, so brief story. Last year I was involved in a pageant. Um, before we get there, can I just talk about like what I do, because that was what
Well,
led me to the
yeah,
pageant.
because I have a question. Actually, I didn't write any major questions or anything, but one of the questions that I had is about you having a platform that you work with a specific group of people,
Mhm.
and so I really wanted to hear about why that particular group, and then we can go forward. So yes, let's talk about
Okay. So the name of my platform, well, I'll call it a non-profit now because I just got approved um, early this week. Yeah,
that.
last week.
Congratulations!
Thank you. So the name of my platform is Evolve by Evore, and I
What is
do
it called?
makeup. Evolve by Evore.
Okay, all right, I
Yes,
have that.
and I do makeup for cancer survivors. So what happened was when I was 16, my first year in college, right?
Mhm.
They started doing this breast awareness thingy, asking everyone to check their breast, how to do the whole check. So I checked mine and I realized that I was producing milk,
Hmm.
first of all. And then I noticed a lump in my breast.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
And this was at the age of 16.
mhm,
And you were in college just doing what they standard breast exam.
correct,
Okay.
correct. So I went to, the medical center back in school, and yeah, they said I had a lump. I needed to do the, operation to take it out and all whatnot. So when I got home, I went back home. I had to do a series of gynecology visits. So they put me on a medication for 3 months to stop the milk from coming out, first of all. And then after that, I did the surgery to take out the lump. Thank God it wasn't cancerous. But
Okay.
when I look back to that time, I really thank God, because for me it's like I didn't even know what was really happening. I didn't know much about cancer until I came to America. I got to find out that my grandfather actually had prostate cancer.
Okay.
And, I didn't know that information. So looking back, I'm like, my mom must have been way more scared for me than I even was. But, anyways, that was one phase of my life. Fast forward to 2019, beginning of 2020, before the pandemic, right? I was in this phase where I'd been doing makeup for a couple of years, right? Came to America, I was still doing makeup, but I got a job. So I was working in a healthcare facility. So I used to see a lot of medical records, right?
Right.
And I was getting, inquisitive. Like I'm seeing oncology this, that, that. I'm like, what is that? What do they do? You
Right.
know. So I was at this phase where I was asking God to show me a way to use my talents to be able to help people, because I always say that makeup was what I started my career with,
Right.
but I was getting to the point where I wasn't really gaining satisfaction from just doing people's makeup just to get paid,
Mhm.
right? I wanted more. So I was in that phase asking God, like, show me a way to help people with this. So when I started doing my research on oncology, this and that, that's when I started learning about cancer. And then, I learned about cancer, I learned about chemotherapy, learned about ladies, going on short hair, cutting their hair, and in America, your hair is your beauty. I grew up with short hair because I had like very coarse hair. So my mom, she couldn't stand me crying all the time. So she just took me to the barbing salon. So I was that kid with short hair. But I don't know if it's because of the way I grew up or nothing, like nobody, even if you had the longest hair in the world, you could not tell me you were prettier than me. My confidence level was like top notch. And then when I started makeup, it just like added to it. So it's like, okay, I'm a makeup artist. I grew up with short hair. I know how to instill confidence on people because I have it, right? So that was when the Lord spoke to me and like, okay, this is what I want you to do. When women lose their hair here, they start to feel like less confident and all whatnot. I want you to use your makeup skill, right, to be able to help them and remind them they are beautiful. It's not about the outward; it's about the inward, right? So with or without their hair, they're still beautiful. So that's how I decided to start my platform in 2020. Unfortunately, the pandemic hit, so I couldn't start that year. I had reached out to a couple of people prior to then. So I used to be very big on social media. I mean, as a makeup artist, you have to be big with social media. So I used to be big with social media. I reached out, hashtag chemotherapy, cancer, and all whatnot. So I found a couple of people, but like I said, I had to put the project on hold because of the pandemic. So in 2020, after my birthday, 2020, I went through a whole ordeal. Like that year started out like terrible for me, but God brought me out of everything I was going through. So after my birthday, I was like, I really need to start this thing because I want to use it to give glory to God. So I started the project again, started reaching out to more people and all whatnot. And that's how I started, you know, my platform, Evolve by Evore. So I do makeup on cancer survivors or people still going through the journey. I interview them, they talk about their story and everything, that they went through or are still going through. And then after that, we do like makeup and photo shoots and all whatnot.
I am so thoroughly impressed that you would do that.
Thank you.
You interview them, but then they know that you're going to do this makeup and photo shoot? They already know that coming into the
Oh
thing?
yes, yes. When I reach out to them, I tell them to go for it, to hear their side of the story and everything, their journey basically. Because the thing is, some people are going through a lot, right? And they don't have people to share with. You may be telling me about your journey, and someone else will hear it and be like, "Oh, that's the same thing that's happening to me," So it's always good to like put it out there, because you may be encouraging someone, out there. So after that, like we do the whole photo shoot, makeup and photo shoots just to
This is great.
ease everything, and end it in like fun, fun, fun.
I love your philosophy. What's the name? Is the name Evolved by Evore on YouTube as well?
Oh, on YouTube, it's Evore Signature. So Evore Signature is my brand, like makeup. I do makeup, I do micro shading, and I recently, last year, about a year ago, I started doing areolas as well. So I do nipple tattoo areolas on cancer survivors as well.
That's good. Okay, Evore Signature. So everybody, make sure you go to Evore Signature on YouTube and subscribe to her YouTube channel. I'm trying to make sure. I wanted to pull it up myself here. Yeah, I'm going to subscribe right now and turn on all my notifications. So I just did that, but it's right here, and I'll put it in the comment section for you all because I want to make sure you go and subscribe to her YouTube channel. Let's see. There we go. It's an about page thing there, but go and subscribe and turn that notification bell to all. And I put it over in the comment section for you. But if there's like a shorter link, if you put it in the private chat at some point, Evore, I'll put that specifically for your YouTube channel. Because right now what I have is the longer copy paste type of stuff. But make sure you all go to Evore Signature on YouTube and subscribe to her YouTube channel. Do it today, right away, so that you can go ahead and subscribe and turn your notifications to all. She has quite a few clips over there for you to enjoy as well. So cancer survivors, and because you had your own personal journey and you've overcome any issues pertaining to that, you don't have cancer or anything,
No,
but
I don't have cancer.
and so they were able to get that quickly resolved when you were
Mm.
in your younger years.
Yes, I only had a scare. That's what I call it. It was just a scare. It wasn't cancer.
Thank goodness. I'm so thankful to God for that. One of our episode sponsors, everyone, is attorney Charles Everidge with Hunter Everidge Law Firm. If you're in the Carolinas area, the Richmond, Virginia area, or the Alabama area, and you're dealing with disability, wrongful death of a loved one, or some type of workers' compensation claim, let them know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. 704-457-5000. And I played their commercial earlier, but I do want to take a moment to take another commercial break. When we come back, I'm trying to determine what direction do we want to go in, or is there some? I'd like to show some pictures because I don't know if those are all pageant pictures or cancer survivor pictures that you sent in. Tell me.
Yeah. So I sent both.
Okay.
I haven't answered your question about what made, the pageants, what made me decide to go into pageants. So I can answer that and then we can share the pictures and then I can show you, yeah, how that
Sounds good. Thank you so much, ma'am, because I
no
also
problem.
know a few other behind the scene things about you that we'll talk about as well. But
Okay.
today, everybody, we're talking with Evore. She has a big event. That's why I'm eager to get to it. But she has a huge event coming up. It's her first time ever doing this type of event, and it involves pageantry. So we're going to come back and learn more about the whole pageant world side of Evore right after this break. We'll be right back. All right, everyone, we are back and we are talking with Evore. And if you missed the origin of her name, definitely go back and watch the intro to this episode because she has an amazing reason why she came up with Evore as her stage name. Listen, talk to us and tell us about the pageantry. What made you, first of all, it's one thing to be passionate about helping cancer survivors, providing a platform, which you do with your YouTube channel and doing makeup and photo shoots. But then now you're taking this to a whole different level. So talk to us about what is beauty for ashes for you from your perspective. I'd like to hear that answer first.
Okay. Um, there's this Nigerian saying that goes, Ile oba tojo, ewa lo busi, which means your scars do not define you, they only make you more beautiful. I think that was where Beautiful Ashes came from. I mean, it started from there and then it came as a confirmation as well. So, first things first, the pageants. 20, 2021, yes, 2 years ago, end of 2021, a client of mine, she flew me to Arizona for this thing that I didn't really know what it was about, but she flew me there to be her makeup artist, right? So I went there, found out that it was a pageant. And I'm like, I've never been in one of those before. My mom used to tell me that God has a reason for not making me tall because you won't have been able to control me. Pageants are one of the things that I always wanted to do. But because of my height, I always wanted a model. I felt like, ooh, I'm a fine girl in good shape, and all whatnot. But I just could never do it because of my height. So now I'm like, I'm in a pageant, like I'm seeing like real crowns and sashes. Hmm. So I was a makeup artist for the weekend. The name of the pageant, well, I won't talk about the name of the pageant, but it was a pageant for people that have accomplished things, women that are doing things in the society, right? So I felt like that was a very good initiative, because not everybody can go into real pageantries like me because of my height. Some people, they feel like they're older, and everything. They can't compete with, young girls. So I felt like it was a very good platform. There were people that spoke about domestic violence and how they advocate for people with domestic violence, and all whatnot. So the lady, Dr. Tola, that's her name, she told me that, you know what, next year I'm going to put your name in and you're going to be coming for this pageant. So now I'm like, are you sure I can do it? But okay, let's see. Because I already had my platform, do you understand, doing things for cancer survivors. So it just made sense.
That's
So
right.
the following year, which was last year, 2022, I signed up for the pageant and all whatnot. I went and I represented Nigeria. So I was Miss Nigeria, right? I did everything right. Everything was perfect. I had a swell time. I made a lot of connections. It was beautiful. But then, how can something so beautiful end up so bad? I got cheated. And I'm not just saying that because it's me, I'm saying that because it was clear, right? You know how when the organizers are already like, if it's your first time, don't expect to win, but you can come back again next time. Now I'm like, okay, something is about to be shady here, right?
Okay, wait, I have to take a quick break to say this just as a disclaimer because people sue shows and all kind of stuff. This is her
Okay.
personal story and her personal journey, her own
Yeah.
personal words of her personal experience. So it doesn't always reflect that of the Kim Jacobs show or me personally as
Mhm.
a host or anything. This is her personal journey, just so y'all know that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And I really didn't call any name, so
Yeah,
I didn't
go
call
ahead.
the name of the
Keep
pageant. So
it vague. Keep it vague, right? Go ahead. But this is what you feel happened to you is that
yeah,
you feel you were being
yes, yes.
heisted or
Even the person that ended up winning, her friend that came with her came to meet me. I was like, you deserved that win. So it was like it was clear, right? But for me, I don't dwell on losses, right? I always sit down and I just ask God, like, what was it you wanted me to learn? Because I couldn't have had a great time. Like, I had a very amazing time. I couldn't have had such an amazing time. And then, everything just went down the drain. So I was like, maybe if I won, maybe I wouldn't be giving God the glory. I'll be taking it as, okay, this was my achievement. So I
right.
had to sit down and I'm like, God, what did you want me to learn from this?
So
So
before you go forward, you actually you lost in that regard, but you won a lot of other things. But the thing is, you did not get the crown as the person that was the winner.
yes. So they had like the thing is once you get into the pageant, once you sign up for the pageant, you automatically get a crown and a sash, which is
Okay.
what I said I felt was an amazing idea because even if you didn't win like the title for what
Right.
you're competing for, you still get a crown and a sash.
Beautiful. Okay.
So I felt like it was a good idea, and that was one of the reasons why I was like, okay, let me do this pageant because I feel like the initiative is right. It's just every other thing that went into it. I just felt like they could have done better.
Mhm.
And yeah, they were trying to get me to sign up for the next year, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing this anymore because I wouldn't go somewhere where I'm not appreciated. Let me put it that way. You know, I, I did feel appreciated initially, but it was almost like, well, these are my people that have been here since, so we have to give them the win. So I didn't feel like that was fair.
And was that being articulated throughout? Was that being communicated that because these people have been here longer, we're going to automatically and just you're new?
They actually
You-
took the microphone and then announced it a couple of times. If you're new for the first time, don't really expect to win. Yes.
oh, oh, okay.
So that's why when it happened, I wasn't shocked. I would have, because there was a clear difference between what I did and what the other person did. So I would have really expected that, well, this is clear. So,
So
you
give me
can
my
do it in
due
other
type of thing.
categories, but don't bring it to this, but they still went ahead and gave it to the other person, which is fine. Okay. So, anyways, after before I got actually represented, or rather, came to support me there, right? One of them lives in California because the event was in California. She lives in California, so it was easy for her. Then two of my other friends came to support me, right? The other two they stay in Atlanta, and they are both cancer survivors. So one of them, Kenesha, I serenaded her. So you know how you have pageants and then you do like different stuff. So for my talent, I sang to her, and it was beautiful. It was very beautiful. So I serenaded her, and yeah, the whole event was amazing. After the pageant, when I didn't win, my friends were salty. And it's funny because I was trying to get one of my other friend, right, to go on the pageant the next year, just the same way someone had referred me. I was trying to refer her. So it was like we lost that whole chain because now everybody's salty. Nobody wants to do it again.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then
They're like, no, we're good. We're good. No, thank you. All right.
yeah,
Right.
so both
So
of them now. Mhm.
no, I was just gonna say. So your takeaway from that, just so I understand, because everybody was salty. I get that, but you said that it was still some valuable experiences that you learned, and a couple of the valuable experiences that you learned were what? In case other people that are watching today are considering pageants, what were some of the positives that you did learn from your pageant experience?
Well, I will say, me starting mine now, it gave me that first-hand experience to know how to work around pageants,
Mm-hmm.
what to do and what not to do. Okay. So, and then, yeah, like I said, I met a lot of people that became lifelong friends. That's actually how I met the person that's referred me to you. So, yeah, I met a lot of amazing people. But
Awesome.
um, sorry, I cut off what I was saying. But so my friends were like, okay, you need to start your pageant because now everybody's salty. Everybody's like, nobody's doing this pageant anymore. But then they're like, you need to start your pageant. I was coming from a place where I have a full time job, I have my business I'm running on the side. I can't take up a pageant. Like, it's just too much to put on my plate right now. So eventually, I decided that, you know what, instead of doing a full blown pageant, I want to start giving you ladies a crown and a sash. I mean, it just makes sense. We're doing makeup, photo shoots. I'll give you a crown and a sash to remind you that you guys are queens, you guys are warriors. No matter what you go through in life, you will still overcome, you know. So that's how I started the crown and the sashes. So with my interviews, I do the interviews. After the interviews, I give each lady a crown and a sash. And on the sash, it's wrote warrior queen. Now, for the guys as well, I wanted to appreciate the guys as well because I also had a few guys that I'd interviewed. So I did like the boxing gloves and it had like champion written on it. And then I decided that, okay, for the caregivers, because it's not only people that have cancer that go through a journey, the caregivers also go through something. So I decided to do like a medal, which I'm going to start giving out at my pageant. So decided to do a medal for them as well, and on it it's written "Blessed to be a blessing." And by the way, that's the copy of my of Evolve by Evore. Evolve by Evore, blessed to be a blessing. That's what reflects Evolve by Evore. So fast forward to October last year, my friend that I serenaded, she had her own breast cancer event that I attended, and she gave me a platform to speak. And I spoke
Oh,
about the pageants, you know, how we became closer and how I started, you know, my platform and all whatnot. And then after the event, everybody came to meet me and they're like, you need to start your pageant.
yes.
So now I'm like, okay, is that
You're frozen right now. So what I'll do is just take a quick commercial break and then give Evora a chance to get unfrozen over there, and we will be right back.
Who are those people? You know, the guys playing golf in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. The woman wearing $1,000 shoes at a cafe in the city. The kid in the ripped jeans driving a $200,000 sports car. What do they know that you don't? One word: leverage. Working smarter, not harder. Owning their own business, not being owned by a job. The good news? We have it. Interested?
All right, everybody. We're back, and Evora will be right back in the virtual studio audience momentarily. Listen, if you want to know more about how to own a piece of that travel business, I definitely want you to reach out to trueyougetaway@gmail.com. Trueyougetaway@gmail.com. And I'll play the next commercial that's associated with that now.
Two things are almost certain about you. Number one, you know people who travel. Of course you do. Everybody travels. It's an $8 trillion industry. It's what people dream about doing. And number two, you probably aren't making the commission. You see, every car rental, every hotel, and every resort pays commissions. They may go to a website or to a traditional travel agent. But trust us, someone is earning it. Well, what if we could show you a way to put that commission in your pocket? It doesn't hurt to take a peek. Interested?
All right, everyone. We are back. We're back here on the Kim Jacobs Show, and we have Evora. She's coming back in the virtual studio audience. But we're talking today about how she is serving cancer survivors. She's given them an opportunity to be on her platform, which is evolved by Evore, and she also gives them an opportunity to have a photo shoot as well as the opportunity to get a makeover. So she's doing some phenomenal things to help those that are getting beauty for ashes. And a new event that she has coming up, she'll talk about that in detail. Once you're situated, Evore, give me a thumbs up and I'll pull you right back in, okay? She's getting herself situated back in the back office. And so I'm excited that you all have tuned in today. Have you all ever been in pageants in the past? Because I know I've been in pageants when I was growing up. My mom would put me in, I was in Miss Black Virginia pageant, and I represented Miss Black Newport News in the Black Virginia pageant. I was in the Miss Teenager pageant. I don't know the exact name, but anyway, when I went in there, it was people with these big Dolly Parton hairdos, and I had a really short Anita Baker cut. And so I was like, I am in the wrong place, right? But my mom was like, girl, you right where you're supposed to be. And she would go and get people, Miss Wilhelmina, Miss Margaret, and different people that would help me get my dress. And I had hand-me-down things, but it was beautiful. You could not tell me that I was not where I was supposed to be. So being in a pageant helped bring out certain characteristics that are just memorable, connections that you make, poise, professionalism, how to walk, stand, talk, answer questions. There was a lot of I actually won, I think, Miss Congeniality and was in the top finals as well. Let me know, Evore, when you ready to pop back in. You ready? I'm going to go ahead and pull you in. All right. All right. So we're here today again with Evore, and I see, oh yeah, I can see you real clearly on that one. You're on a new device. All right.
Yeah, I had to switch to my iPad. I don't know what's going on with my laptop.
It's okay. So now you're serving cancer survivors. You're giving them a platform. You're telling them that they're beautiful, no matter what's going on with hair and physical appearance stuff. You're giving photo shoots, sashes. Talk to us about some more.
Okay. So I was saying before, my friend that I serenaded and that hosted her event last year, she died in May this year. So
You
yeah,
said she passed away?
yeah, she passed away. So for me, it was like, okay, this is the more reason why I need to do this. I need to do this event. So that's where Beautiful Ashes came from. Beautiful Ashes is going to be an annual event in honor of Kenesha J. Watts. And it's going to be a pageant because she was the first person that told me you need to do your pageant. So it's going to be a pageant for survivors, but it's not going to be a competition. It's still going to have everything that involves pageantry. So these ladies are going to walk down the stage with their evening dresses, with their evening gowns, with their sports or fun for fitness, with their business casual outfits. You know, we're still going to give them a crown and a sash, but it's not going to be a competition. Kenisha she was known for, she was a very empowering lady. You know, if you ask me one word that describes Kenisha, I'll tell you empowerment, right? So I want this pageant to be able to empower people out there, right? There's not going to be like Miss Georgia or Miss whatever. Instead, we're going to give them names that describe them. So, for instance, Miss Resilience, Miss Hardworking, Miss Empowerment, you know. So that's what's going to be written on their sashes. I'm spilling it out. I shouldn't be saying this until that day. But yes, that's what the pageant is going to be. And it's going to be in October next month. Kenesha's birthday was October 24th, or is October 24th. So literally 4 days after her birthday. So everything is going to be in honor of her. And like I
What's
said,
the
it's to
name
be
of
an
the
honor.
pageant again? What's the name of
Beauty
it?
for Ashes.
Okay.
Beauty for Ashes.
I'm just
Yes.
typing what you're saying. Beauty for Ashes pageant.
Yes.
Oh,
So I would love everyone to come support me. That would be really amazing. Like I said, it's my first event. I'm very nervous, but at the same time, I'm so excited. So
wow. That I was not expecting. I was not expecting that when you, oh my gosh. So this is the young lady that you serenaded.
mm-hmm.
And in the pageant that you were in. And then this is also the same young lady that encouraged you to start your own pageant. And now is inspired to be a non-competitive pageant. I don't think I've ever heard of a non-competitive pageant. Have you?
Nope. But we're going to start it.
So you want to start technically, and if there is one out there, please, by all means, tell us. But the point is, here on the Kim Jacobs Show, Evore is here talking about a non-competitive cancer. So is it only cancer survivors that are in the pageant, or anyone can be in it?
Yes, it's just cancer survivors. Maybe with time, maybe, I don't know yet, but maybe with time we would probably add like burn survivors. I don't know. It depends on where God is taking me to. But for now, we're starting with cancer survivors.
In any age category or any
Nope.
age of a cancer survivor, whether it's any type of cancer or what? How do you determine who's going to be qualified for this?
There is no qualification. If you've had cancer before, then you're qualified, basically.
Wow, this is huge. This is huge, Evore. So I hope I'm spelling Kanisha's name right, but if I didn't,
I just texted it to you now.
Okay, because I didn't have that. Okay, Kanisha, I'm gonna put her name in here properly because I really want to give honor to this woman that is inspiring this movement that you are going to carry on the legacy of. And so let me copy and paste that and put it up. Kanisha J. Watts. The pageant is in honor and in loving memory of her. Evore will host this first Beauty for Ashes pageant, no matter what age you are. So it could be a young person, it can be a middle-aged person, it could be an elderly person, it can be a man, it can be a woman. If you have survived or thrived through cancer, you definitely want to reach out to Evore. You can reach out to her at Evolve by Evore, Evore at gmail.com. Let her know that you want to be in this pageant because you kicked cancer in the head and you're here to tell your story. There's no competition. So all you're doing is coming and strutting your new look, whether it's a clean shaven head or whether it's a makeover by Evore. All of these E's is throwing me, right? So Evolve by Evore. So,
I know, tongue twister.
You're going to get an interview. You're going to get your sash or your boxing gloves or your pendant. Y'all, this is a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to some pictures. We're going to take a moment to go to some pictures. Let me see.
Okay.
Well, first of all, any comments, questions, thoughts? We can do a flash round of any comments that you all have in the virtual studio audience and love to put them up. Let me take a moment to acknowledge our episode sponsor that has the mushroom coffee, and people have been raving about. I don't know what's going on with this mushroom coffee, but people love it. So go to theproducts.store, theproducts.store, and order your coffee. And they have black coffee and mushroom coffee. Let them know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. And Dr. Jody Bear is actually a person you can reach out for more information about the V Products store. Her phone number is 800-820-0584, or you can learn more about her at drjod.com. All right, today's additional episode sponsors are Ivan Major Jacobs, which is I have two sons that actually also sponsor the show. I'm so excited about it and grateful that they would believe in the Kim Jacobs Show enough to do that. So yay. And anytime your kids believe in your stuff, that's a big to do in my opinion anyway. So majorpt.com is one of our episode sponsors. You can learn more, majorpt.com. And Ivan went from about 300 or so pounds and went on a personal weight loss journey, became certified to do National Association of Sports Medicine virtual and in-person training. And so he went on his own personal journey, and he's training people virtually and in person to experience their own weight loss or bulking. I guess that's the right wording. Whatever you're going through, he knows how to help you with that. And he's a student at UNC Charlotte. All right. Thank you for being one of our episode sponsors, Ivan Major Jacobs, majorpt.com. Okay, I want to show pictures and show comments. Let's see. This is absolutely amazing, Virginia Rutherford Hall says. And she's a talk show host with a show coming out called Wings of Wisdom. She's been in the flight industry for over 20-some years, and she's going to be taking flight with your life on a new show coming out soon. Absolutely amazing. Glad to have you, Virginia. Let's see, any questions, comments for our guest today? Let's see. My mom is on and she says, this is good morning, ladies. This is a very interesting show. Both of you ladies are beautiful and brilliant ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Keep them flooding in. Anybody celebrating the fact that I don't want to say how old you are if you're not allowed. People don't tell their age all the time. But you seem relatively younger. So this vision is massive for you, in my opinion, way beyond your years. What do you attribute that to?
I'm 30.
Wow. 30 years old and doing something of this magnitude. What do you attribute that to?
What do I what?
What do you, oh, here I am singing, right? Don't judge me over there. Girl, open your mouth, lady. That's what you said. Okay, let me get serious. What do you attribute your success to at such an early age?
Oh, gotcha. I think I would say my mom. I think I am very, very much like my mom, right? She may not have gotten to maximize her full potential or gotten to where she wanted to be, right? But even my brothers are like, oh my God, you're always thinking, you're always hustling, you're always this, I didn't get it from any other person other than my mom, because that's how my mom is. She's a very industrious person, always wanting to, So yeah, I would say my mom. I think I'm very much like her.
I'm sure she's so proud of you, and it sounds like your brothers are too. And
Yeah.
and
And my
how
dad.
your dad, right? You say your dad?
Yes, I'm a daddy's girl, but I behave more like my mom.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So the dynamics of your family, you have your mom, your dad, brothers. How many?
Three brothers. Three brothers, and I'm the second.
No sisters?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, that's how it is in our. So we have four. I have four sons and one daughter. But the sons,
Wow.
they kind of like give my daughter the business. They think they manage her. Is that how it is
Yeah.
for you?
I think for me, I think it's because I'm the second, right? Maybe if I was the last, maybe that's how it would have been.
Yeah.
But I'm the second, so sometimes like they say I boss my elder brother.
So I can't imagine you bossing anybody, right? You, of course, you boss them.
But I mean, I love my brothers so much. Imagine having three brothers, right? And it's like growing up, oof, they were always picking on me. And I think that's also what like led to my self-confidence, because it was like you either fall prey or you stand up for yourself.
Well, that's my daughter. She
I
stands
was
up
I
for
was
herself.
I was the girl with short hair. I wore braces when I was younger, so my brothers always picked on me. So it was either I just let them, you know, tease me all the time, or I just stand up for myself. And that was what I did. I stood up for myself. So
I don't
yeah,
blame you.
now I'm the boss lady.
Now you're the boss lady with an economic degree, with a bachelor's in economics that applied it to your entrepreneurship, and you are well on your way to owning your own
Well,
conglomerate.
no, I own an LLC and I own a nonprofit.
Oh, and
Period.
you, girl, look, see, that's my arms with the dress. Like, I wore this dress just because. I'm not going anywhere. I'm literally going to change and just throw some sweats in a shirt and take my eyelashes back off after the show. But they'd be like, who are you? And I have to tell everybody this quick eyelash story. I was wearing eyelashes all the time, right? And I loved them. All you do is put a little glue strip, no big deal. I love it. But I have a friend of mine and their son has a Down syndrome. So he was like, hi. He was like, whoa, you gonna take my eyelash off? Because it looked like a toy. So I grabbed my eyelash. I stopped wearing them for like years. I have not been wearing them because of that. Because every time I'm around him, he thinks it's a toy and wants to pull it off.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
literally was grabbing anyway. So I said, I better stop wearing them. And said, very nice. This is a very nice episode. Okay. Let's go to some of the photos that's over here and talk to us about each of them as I pop them up. All right.
Okay.
I'm so pleased to have you on today. It's been a great episode.
Thank you. Thank you. Me
I want
too.
to make sure I share your flyer and everything. But let's go through some of these photos. These are beautiful. Talk to us.
All right, so this was the pageants that I went for last year. Like I said, I represented Nigeria. I didn't win, but I won. There was this category for what was it? It was like an international pageant, so I won like the international part of it.
Okay.
This was Kinesha's event last year. So Kinesha is the one in the middle. She's the one that
Oh my gosh.
died, that passed on in May. So this is Keandra and Kenesha, who were like the three musketeers.
Aw.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so hers were she with cancer is what she had?
Yes, she had breast cancer as well. Well, it's metastasized to her brain, and she survived that, and it came back again. And yeah.
Well, in case she's not in other pictures, I just want to take a moment again to give honor and homage to Kenesha J. Watts. Pageant is in honor, the pageant that Evore is doing for the very first time is in honor of her friend right there in the middle, who is still obviously a great winner. And I don't look at the battle with cancer as winning or losing. I look at it just as if you won on this side of earth and you were able to stay here and use your gifts and talents, praise God for that. And if for some reason you went home and transitioned to glory, then praise God for that, because at the end of the day, you are still one of our cloud of witnesses. And so we know, Kenesha, that you are celebrating from heaven as you see one of your three musketeer friends do something that you inspired her to do. So this is in loving memory of her. Evore will host her first Beauty for Ashes pageant because of Kenesha J. Watts. May God continue to allow you to celebrate from heaven, Kenesha. I want to say that. All right, let's go to some other photos. Here we go. Tell us about that one.
So this was the event last year. This was when I serenaded her, when I sang to her. I was going to send a video, but I didn't know if I could send the video, but it was beautiful. So I sang 3 songs. Keep shining, keep smiling, knowing you can always count on me, for sure. She walked in while I was singing. I think the first one I sang was Count on me through thick and thin, friendship that will never end, and then at some point she starts walking in, right? After I finished the first one, then there was like a projector that I did a compilation of like her life, getting married, her kids, her husband, the cancer journey, when it started, when it metastasized up until when, we met and everything. So there was a projector showing all that. And then while I was singing, she walked in and then she joined me with a very lovely dress. It was the most beautiful thing ever,
Oh,
and yeah.
wow. That's a moment you'll cherish forever.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm sure you'll be highlighting some of that during your first pageant that you have as well.
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
More.
So this is when I started giving out a crown and a sash. So this is one of the survivors that I spoke to or that I interviewed. This is Miss Shea. She's a survivor as well, a breast cancer survivor.
Oh my gosh. And look how beautiful she looks.
Yeah, this is Kenesha. This was when we did our initial interview, January of last year. So yeah, this is Kenesha.
She's so pretty, man.
Thank you. So this is Anna and Chuck Kills. I met them in Arizona the year that I flew in to do my client's makeup for the pageant, the very first pageant. So they came and they spoke on stage, and I wasn't prepared to do any interview, but I was like, oof, how often will you find, will you come to Arizona? Because I'd never been to Arizona before then. So I got to interview them. I told them about my platform. Anna had breast cancer, Chuck had prostate. At the point when I met them, Chuck was, free, cancer free, but Anna still had cancer. Unfortunately, she passed on November last year.
Man, cancer is just it's a beast, and
Yeah.
What is her?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I showed you.
This one.
I just want to go to this as well.
Yeah, and this is my very good friend April. She's also a survivor. She's been in remission for about 10 years, and she's going to be on pageant that day. April, I just love her. Like, we're like soul sisters.
And look at her. She's showing she is a warrior queen.
Yep.
And again,
Yep.
every single person that participates in the pageant, because it's not a competition, every person will win. Every single person will win in this pageant. So if you are part of this pageant, know that you're already a winner and you will win something that day. So let me see, is there any other? There were several other pictures that you sent. There's one. I don't want to get off without you showing these pictures because you took your time to send them in, and I want people to see them because they're very meaningful. Very meaningful. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for letting God use your gifts and your talents this way.
Thank you.
Definitely going to build people up. Okay.
Thank you. So this is Barna. I put this picture in as well because I just wanted to show people that men can have breast cancer. So Barna is a Delta flight attendant, and yeah, I met him at one of the cancer awareness that Delta put did last year. So he's a breast cancer survivor as well. I didn't know that men could have breast cancer until I met him. So.
I'm really glad that you did focus on him, and now we'll pull up statistics as well. But there's another picture that you put here. Okay.
Yes, and that was Rosette.
What's her name?
Rosette. So she, I think she was the first person. She sent me a voice note one day, and she was like, Isaiah 61 verse, was it 61 verse 4? Talking about, where the Bible says he will give them a crown of beauty instead of ashes. So that was where the name beauty came from. Her voice note was so touching. It was beautiful. I met her when I started doing areolas, and I did her areola. She had been in remission. She has been in remission for quite a while now. And yeah, she was one of the people that I did her areolas. So, and yeah, this is my flyer. This has all the information for the pageant in October.
Scan the QR code, everyone that's physically able to see this, and let people know, for those that are audio podcast listeners, where they can go to get the information that they're not able to scan right here on the screen.
Okay, so you can go on my Instagram. I have all my Instagrams, Evolve by Evore. Actually, yeah, you can go on Evolve by Evore. I have Evore signature as well. And I have my personal Instagram, which is Miss_Evore, MS_Evore. You can go on any of these three and click on the link in my bio, and you'll see the link to the website on there.
So I'm going to put Instagram at Evolve. I'm just going to put that one, Evolve by Evore.
Evore, yes.
Evore.
By Evore. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's Evore, everyone that's on the podcast listening devices. And you can listen to the Kim Jacobs Show on any of your listening devices, whether it's iPod, SoundCloud, Deezer, Podchaser, Apple Music, you name it, iHeartRadio, Spotify, just anywhere you listen to your stuff. When you're just listening to a show, go ahead and download the Kim Jacobs Show. But stay connected with Evore, Evore, Evolve by Evore, and her email is evolvebyevore@gmail.com. If you are a cancer survivor, thriver, and you just want to be appreciated and honored for the struggle that you've experienced in this journey called life, be a part of this upcoming pageant at Evolve by Evore on Instagram. And this is for those that can scan the QR code. I'm going to put it there front and center for you all. Please scan that QR code now, and it'll take you to get all the information for October 28th, 10:30 a.m. Is it virtual?
No, it's in person. The address is at the bottom. The venue at West Cobb.
Okay, so you need to physically be able to come to the venue at West Cobb, and that's 3999 Austell Road, Suite 351 in Austell, Georgia, is where the event is being held. But if you scan that QR code and you're watching this, it'll take you to be able to register. Is there a fee for people to register?
Yes, it's $50.
You got to be kidding me. So for $50, they're going to get a sash, a crown, royal.
So survivors are not, this is for people to attend.
Oh.
The $50 is the entry fee, yes.
So the survivors don't have to pay?
No, actually.
Oh my gosh. So this is
Yes,
a free pageant for them to be in.
correct.
Oh
I
my.
do I do want to say though, I'm working with 10 to 12 delegates and right now I have 11 already confirmed. So I have space for just one more, but I would like to start gathering my list for next year because like I said, it's going to be an annual event. So anyone who's not able to make it for this year can definitely make it for next year. But I would love for people, as many people as possible, to come support me, you know, just come watch. There's going to be food, there's going to be fun, there's going to be raffle tickets.
We need
Well,
sponsors, y'all. So okay, now I'm being your agent over here, okay? This woman, if you just want to pour into her ministry and what she's doing, make sure you email her $50. Even if you're not able to attend, send $50 to her to be able to help offset some of the costs of these 12 delegates that's going to be represented and honored in such a beautiful way. You can email her and find out how you can submit some type of donation or contribution to her, and let her know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you over to her. But evolve by Evore at gmail.com. Evolve by Evore at gmail.com. This is beautiful what you're doing, and I'm so proud of you.
thank you. Thank you.
Now, any final comments, thoughts? So I'll close out today's episode. This is just nothing short of amazing what you're doing.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me on your show. And thank you for everyone who joined in or everyone who's going to be listening in. I always say that I'm not doing this by myself. I only sit down and listen to what the Holy Spirit tells me to. Okay, so I just want to thank God. I sit down sometimes and I'm like, God, thank you for using me as your vessel. And I just want to say to people, we live in a very unkind world. Be kind to people because you don't know what people are going through. Be compassionate, and whatever situation you find yourself, just try to empower people, okay? Because use your voice, basically. Your use your voice to do good more than evil. That's it.
Well, someone wanted to know, and actually it's Kishla Moore. She's been on the Kim Jacobs Show before, and she's actually one of my elementary school friends that I've had throughout the years. And she's been thriving and kicking cancer in the head. And so I actually tagged her, and I hope she's one of the ones that become the next finalist over there. It's a non-competitive competition, no competing. All of you all are winners that have survived and thrived through cancer. Now, the event is October 28th in Georgia, Kishla. Kishla, there you go. And it's October 28th at 10:30 a.m. You can scan that QR code. It's free to be in the pageant. Everyone wins. Only cancer survivors, thrivers are allowed to be a part of it. I think she has space for like one or two more. And say the Kim Jacobs Show sent you, you might get squeezed in. Maybe she'll do 15 delegates. I don't know what to tell you. But the point is, the show just aired today, so maybe she's gonna make space for a couple more. I don't know. But it's $50 for anybody that's looking to come and be in the actual studio audience. And donations are definitely welcome as well. Her Instagram page, because I want to put it back up again since people are asking. You can stay connected with her right at Evolve by Evore. Did I put my crown on upside down? Lord have mercy. I done did it Wakanda. I was trying to put it on. Okay. Oh, here you go. I don't get my crown off. Did it, everything. Okay. Let me just.
I do want to say something as well.
Go ahead.
Even if you're not able to make it on this pageant, right, and we put you in for the next year, or if you're a cancer survivor and you're just not interested in pageants, please still reach out to me because the pageant is the annual event. That's the event, right? But we still have like our regular interviews and makeup and photo sessions that we do. So please still reach out to me. Just send me an email, right, telling me you're a cancer survivor and you love to be on my platform. So, because I do like the interviews and the photo sessions and the makeup sessions. So the pageant is just one thing. The interviews and photo sessions are another thing. That's what I've been doing for 2 years now. So yes, please still reach out to me, and I would really love to have you on my platform.
All right, and smile too. Just lean forward and smile so I can show my crown. I just wanted to wear a crown just because it was something to do with a pageant. I'm in my
I should
own
have brought
world.
mine today. But it's okay.
You're like, girl, you can't even be in the pageant because I haven't survived anybody's cancer or anything like that. But I'm just grateful that you're doing this. So I'm very honored, and I don't take it for granted or lightly, your gift that God is blessing you with. All right, everybody. Kish, let's see. I hope you got what you needed. Okay, thank you, she said. Okay. So she's going to apply hopefully right now because she needs to be in that. I hope so. Thanks, Kim, and I will reach out. Okay. Listen, everybody, thank you all for tuning into today's episode and meeting this beautiful vessel of a woman of God that is just salting the earth in tremendous ways, using her gifts of economics from her bachelor's degree. 16 years old, she went to college in Nigeria, and then transitioning here to the Georgia area and having a friend be an inspiration to tell her, I'm going to put her friend back up again. In the middle there, her friend is the one that inspired her to be able to do this pageant. So in loving memory of her friend, I just want to acknowledge her as well, which is Kanisha J. Watts. So today's episode is in honor of Kanisha J. Watts. And this pageant that's happening for the first time ever, a non-competing pageant. Everyone is a winner. Beauty for Ashes pageant on October 28th in Austell, Georgia at 10:30 a.m. You're going to meet some beautiful women that have kicked cancer in the head. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really enjoyed this session.
I'm glad. You can come back anytime. Okay. You blessed us. All right, everybody. Have a great one. See you tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to